What's up, my people? Thank you very, very much for joining us today for our sports betting 101 series, how to handle losing streaks slash bad streaks in general. This is going to be a very, very educational content that's going to help you guys level up your game. So make sure to tune in until the end. Also, make sure to please like, comment, and sub. Also, massive shout out to all my new subscribers, all the likes, all the comments, everyone who's in my private community. I super duper appreciate it. So enough of the boring stuff. Let's get right into it. So, how to handle losing streaks and bad streaks. It's not all going to be glory. There will be ups and downs, unfortunately. There will be peaks and valleys. Nothing in life that is worth having comes easy, unfortunately, whether it's starting that new business, whether it's building new relationships, building that dream body. Everything takes work, and there's going to be tons of ups and downs, especially the sports betting markets in particular. It's very, very tricky to beat these markets, and there will be ups and downs. Of course, you can reduce your downside risk by applying proper bankroll management and risk management, which I do have a video on my channel. I've had my ups and downs in this game. I once lost like 10 grand in one night, and I was pretty devastated. It definitely took a massive toll on my mental health, but I just kept at it, kept grinding, and over the next couple of weeks, I actually managed to make the money back. So, yeah, and this is why good risk management is super, super crucial. I made a lot of those pitfalls that I will talk about in the rest of my presentations, such as getting too emotional, etc. So, you gotta keep mentally strong and have some mental fortitude in this game. It's very, very mentally taxing, and this game is very, very psychological. You've got to control your emotions. Nobody likes losing, including myself. I hate losing. I probably take losing just as bad as you guys. But you've got to have some self-control, not lose your head too much, and make things worse and dig yourself a bigger, deeper hole that's going to be extra, extra hard to drag yourself out of. You have to train your mind. Also, training your body helps as well, because a strong body is a strong mind. I'd say this game's probably about 90% mental, 10% physical. So get yourself into the gym, build your bodies up, build your mind up, and get mentally strong. Now, in our next slide, assess your process and refine it. Look back at your track record. This is why you need to track all your bets and make sure you have a good system for tracking the results, and have a clear-headed view and a non-biased view, and reassess your entire process. What mistakes am I making? Are you generally getting unlucky, or is variance just going against you? We go through those periods in our time in these markets where you're playing really well, you're securing good closing line value. However, the match or the fight or whatever just doesn't go your way. Happens. Are you consistently securing good closing line value, or were these generally bad bets? So make sure you have a good look at your bets, good look at your track record, make sure and reassess and make sure everything checks out, and have a non-biased view on this topic. Do not overbet. Okay, do not go overbet. Like, trust me, do not overbet. I made this mistake when I lost that 10 grand in that night. Had a couple bad losses, and they weren't bad bets or anything, but I got into that mind frame where I was like, I need to start chasing, and I dug myself a bigger, deeper hole. So do not overbet. Do not go big on bets to chase your losses. Keep a consistent unit structure and strategy. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where, okay, this next bet, this is the one that's going to help you get back into black or red. I can't remember the expression, but the game's ruthless, guys, and the markets are ruthless. You'll never do a win. So keep that in mind. Just because you lost 20 bets in a row and you're like, yeah, I'm really, really confident on this 21st bet, it does not mean you're going to get your money back on that next bet. So keep to a consistent unit structure, good risk management. Shameless plug again, but I do have a video on my channel discussing good bankroll management and a good unit structure for you guys to follow. And do not overbet and dig yourself a deeper hole and make things worse for yourself. Just keep to a consistent unit structure and just slowly grind things back up. Now, on our next slide, this is going to be unpopular, but consider taking a break. Sit back, chill, have a coffee, maybe a tea if you're a tea guy, take a walk, or maybe just take a couple of weeks off. What's a couple of weeks in the grand scheme of things? Like, you're going to be in these markets for a long, long time. You're not going to get rich from sports betting overnight. It's cliche, but it's a long-term game. When you invest in the stock market, you don't expect to buy a stock and the stock goes up to 20,000 or whatever the next day. You have to be in the markets for a long time to be able to benefit from it. You're looking for slow, consistent gains, and those slow, consistent gains compound in a big, big way. And taking the break is going to give you a clear-headed view of things, a new perspective perhaps, and it's not that big of a deal because the sports betting markets will always, always be there for you. Of course, maybe if your process is really good and you just had a few bad, unlucky weeks, a little bit of variance going against you, referees, judges, whatever, then you've got to keep going with your process and keep betting because you're doing the right things correctly, and over time, things will turn around. Now, consider dropping your ego. All the sports bettors, we all have big egos. We think we're really, really good at predicting fights, matches, outcomes. But if your results are not backing it and you're really, really struggling, consider dropping your ego and maybe realize the sports betting markets is not for you. There's plenty of other ways to make money. And if you want to remain in the markets, consider tailing a proven handicapper who's vetted and competent in these markets. There's no shame in realizing the game's not for you because remember, such a small percentage of people make money from sports betting or investing in general is incredibly difficult. So there's no shame in it. You might have even picked up some valuable lessons. And if you have good risk management, good bankroll management, you're probably not dug yourself that big of a hole, and you're still going to have plenty of cash to play around, maybe invest into other ventures, or if you want to carry on, invest into a handicapper, or you reassess and refine your process and become a profitable sports bettor long term. And if you're deciding, hey, like, oh, this is a bad thing, I'm quitting, blah, 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 you could consider it could be a good thing for you. Now you have all this free time. You can still, if you're tailing a handicapper, you can still make money for the markets, and you can dedicate a lot of that time and energy and mental power and mental fortitude into maybe a new career or a new business you've been thinking about starting. So yeah, that's it for the presentation. Please make sure to like, comment, sub, all that good stuff. Really, really super duper appreciate all the views, the likes, the comments, everyone who's in my community. And if you've got any more questions, any more queries about this topic, please do not hesitate to leave a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you very, very much, and good luck all.